with the inside scoop on the best of reality TV is the contributing editor of Reality Check, Deanna Barnert. Deanna, welcome.
Hello. Don't pay any attention to his bitterness.
No, I am a little bitter.
Not a fan.
A little bitter, but
a little bit.
First of all, what is Reality Check?
Well, a bunch of us over at Soap Opera Weekly got together and put out this amazing special issue, and it's nothing but reality. I mean, behind the scenes, we got a rap sheet of scandals that you could not believe, and of course, previews of what's to come. So this is for the hardcore reality fans out there.
Real is reality TV. That is my question.
Well, there's nothing real about being on an island, but, you know, with 16 strangers. But what happens is what the question is. Are they pushing it? Are they scripting it? That's the question we ask.
Yes.
Across the board, the answer we've gotten is that it's the real deal, that there's no scripting happening. Oh, look, we have a non-believer.
Of course I'm a non-believer.
But you talked about parents.
You're kidding me? Reality TV? We took the Ku Klux Klan guy and the African-American. We locked him in a closet for a week and a half with no food. Let's see what happened. That's reality?
No, the reality is that
me?
they set it up in a very unrealistic situation, and they see how these people are going to react. And I think that the biggest change occurs between what happened and what we see in the editing room. I mean, you talked to Sarah Kozer, who was on Joe Millionaire.
Absolutely.
If you watched, her feeling is she's not that much of a cow. She thinks she's a much nicer person than that, and that they edited her to look bad. Reality
TV is the modern-day soap opera. I'm glad that Soap Opera Weekly picked up on it because it is the modern-day soap opera, and they overproduce that thing. They have a bad guy. They have the underdog that you root for.
But see, that comes in the casting. That once they've casted, and maybe that's how you can say it.
And in the editing.
And in the editing. They definitely can make people
Well, let's talk about some of the scandals.
Frenchie on American Idol, she was a big contender, and she got kicked off as soon as people found out she'd done a little soft corn pour. Then you got Temptation Island, where you had Waitasi, had a little girl or boy, I'm not even sure which it was, at home, and was going on the show that sees if they can handle being broken up, which is just icky.
Let me ask you this. Do you think the producers like this juicy scandals behind the scenes? Do you think that they're loving the fact? Yeah,
that's what makes it work.
I mean, Fox supposedly knew about, who was the girl that was on, the one girl that had the softcore porn?
Frenchie.
Not even Frenchie, the other one, the blonde, Coslow or something like that was on a show, and she had released...
the S&M...
Yes, the S&M pictures. They knew about it at Fox, and they didn't say anything.
And they didn't mind. They didn't hold it against her.
Oh, because that was publicity to release it.
Exactly. But you need to be prepared, if you're going to put yourself out there, that what you did in the past, what you do on the show, what you do in the future, is now news.
All right, let's talk about some of the biggest horror stories.
Horror stories. Well, they all have them. On Survivor, there are tons, and most of them can't make it to air. And one of the ones we heard about that I think is funny is that apparently while they were in Australia, Jeff Probst had to relieve himself and did it on an electric fence and got a little bit of a shock.
Really?
On his PP, he got a little
Apparently. Nobody will really confirm it, but we've heard this story several times.
My first question is, why does Soap Opera Weekly cover primetime shows? I'm noticing that they're doing it more and more.
Well, you know, more and more on primetime, they're starting to use the tools of daytime soaps to make it work.
Really?
They've got the hot storylines that go from show to show. They've got the hot characters that come back that you love or you love to hate. And they've got the great cliffhangers and the romance. They're using a lot of the same stuff to keep us there. The draw's the same. And nowadays, there are tons of people coming over from daytime to primetime, which makes our section a lot more fun. So the first show we're going to talk about is the OC.
It's my favorite new show. I'm going to go off for a second. I am addicted to this show. It hooked me in, and my husband is now watching it with me. Can you even believe that?
But that's exactly what Fox was going for. I mean, they started early so they could bring you in and get you hooked.
They premiered it over the summer, correct?
They premiered it over the summer and ran it 3 times a week. They're really behind the show. They want it to be a hit. They want to make it happen. And the kids were getting so much press because, I mean, look at the chemistry they've got. You got Misha Barton from All My Children working opposite Benjamin McKenzie, who, I mean, nobody could stop.
A mini Russell Crowe.
Well, everyone's got another name for him, and he doesn't like that so much. Orange County, high society, where things are supposed to be beautiful, and the ugliness is there.
So you say huge hit for that one?
Yes. And then we got Skin, another Fox special.
Yeah, I keep seeing the promos. I keep seeing the promos for Skin.
Well, it's about it's sort of a Romeo and Juliet premise.
Of the new millennium. You've got the porn industry as the backdrop. The Catholic DA is going up against the Jewish porn king, and wonderfully enough, the kids fall in love.
How did they come up with a Jewish porn king?
Yeah.
What is that?
I think it's just that it was one more thing for them to have separating them. This with the OC is an example of how Fox is trying to get back their young audience.
Well,
this is in
hello,
the
it's
Melrose
Melrose
Place.
Place 90210, revisited.
And they're in the Melrose Place time slot.
And we miss that. We are dying for those shows.
Yeah.
And Fox is dying to give them to you.
Well, and it's all soaps, basically.
All soaps,
Yes.
except for James Caan, obviously, but it's all soap stars that they've brought into
And
the show.
not only that, but these soap stars were the pull-in. I mean, the commercials barely mentioned James Caan.
Josh and Vanessa.
And the reason for this is obvious. I mean, you've got... Are there any fans like daytime fans?
No.
No.
Hi, Deanna.
How you doing?
Good. So
Welcome
these
back.
actors have had other gigs, basically,
Quite a few
in
of them
movies.
have. Really, you guys are everywhere.
Oh, I know.
Everywhere. That's
Everywhere.
Right. All right, let's start. What's your
Well, first up,
movie?
we've got a comedy. Vicky Rao. Everybody loves
turn
her
the
as
TV on.
Turn the
sexy.
TV on.
Okay, it's
Oh
on.
yeah, we got to be able to see what we're talking about.
Okay.
Everybody loves her as sexy, sassy Drusilla Winters.
No
I mean,
question.
look at her, Young and the Restless. She's got great chemistry there with Christoph. And when she did her comedy, great chemistry again. The sparks really flew in The Distinguished Gentleman. Between
with
her,
Eddie Murphy.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, that's
she
right.
plays a woman who's trying to convince him to do the right thing. And, you know, she always gets a good laugh on Y&R, but, getting to see her do comedy is always
And I will
fun.
say, good actors always work.
Absolutely. And a lot of you guys definitely get into the comedy. Of course, we have the one and only Michael E. Knight, who
I
plays
know this
Tad
one.
Martin.
I love him.
He's another one that has a lot of really funny moments on the show.
Yeah.
And so it was great to see him do something funny. When he left AMC in 1986, you look like you're excited to say what it was.
I am. I can't wait.
He headed for Hollywood and did the romantic comedy
Date with an Angel.
Ah!
You got it.
Yes.
Points for you.
He's just such a funny guy. So good at it.
Well, we get to see him do it on the show, which is nice. Susan
Right.
Flannery on Bold and the Beautiful plays matriarch Stephanie Forrester. And she's someone who can really blow up if you're not careful.
Yeah.
Well, those of you who saw the 1974 disaster flick, The Towering Inferno, they saw her literally blown out the window.
Oh, I love that movie.
Oh, wow.
Great
That's a
movie.
great
And
classic movie.
starred Paul Newman and Steve McQueen.
Yeah.
And
I love that
she won't be
movie.
the only other person you recognize if you check that movie out.
And Robert Wagner. She played Robert Wagner's lover, right? In that movie?
And there are quite a few faces in there you'll
Yeah.
notice if you rent
Yeah.
that movie. Now we go to Eric Braeden, Young and the Restless.
Oh.
He plays
know
the
this one.
tycoon Victor Newman.
do.
Well, in the #1 movie of all time, do we know what that is?
Titanic.
I
He
knew it.
plays John Jacob Astor, the richest man in the world.
He was just on, and he was telling us that it was the scariest moment in his professional career when the
right.
water, 300
Just came-
tons of water just had to come in on
It
top
looks
of him.
scary.
Yeah, he said
And it's
he
a
didn't
really
know
an
if he was making
example
it
of
out.
how an actor like him doesn't need a lot of time on stage to really command. I mean, he's scary with the little time he has, and it was
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah, no question.
Definitely worth checking
We
out.
have a special issue this summer.
We do.
Soap Opera Weekly has Makeover issue. Now, this is going to be on newsstands all summer.
All summer, and it's got tips from the stars and the people who help the stars look good, and also just some fun stuff like throughout the years, looking at how the hair's changed.
Excellent.
And
Thanks so much.
Thank you very
Thank
much
you.
for joining me.